Welcome back to another video from Flying Raven Studios. I'm Ben, and today we are going to look at how to make a winter base. So we're going to go through the quick steps, the things you need, and then I'll kind of show you how to do it, and we'll go from there. So sit back, enjoy, and we'll go. So in this section, what we'll do is we'll have a look at the items that you're going to need to be able to create this winter base. So the first thing, obviously, that you'll need is some description of base. Now, this is just a random base that I found laying around, but fantastic for an example. The next thing that I always use is a holder. It just means that you don't get cramp holding the base while you're trying to paint it. After that, find the worst paintbrush that you have, the oldest, most clogged up paintbrush that you've had laying around for years that you didn't think anything can be used for it again. These are the most ideal ones for using the paints that we're going to use today. So with regards to paints, the first one is the snow texture paint. In this case, I'm using the GW, but you can get lots of different other ones. It's just the one that I normally use. The other texture paint that you'll be needing is some description of mud texture one. This is the one, again, from Games Workshop that gives that fantastic kind of cracked earth texture once it dries. Works really well. I then get a selection of grass tufts. In this case, I've got a 4mm autumn grass tuft and a 6mm autumn grass tuft. And the last thing that you'll need is some slate. I just got a bag of this off of eBay. It's just natural slate, but you can buy obviously specific stuff for modelling, but this will do perfectly. So in this section, what we'll do is we will go through step by step on how I create these bases. Step one is you take the mud paint, whichever you've got, whether you've gone for the GW one or you've gone for a different one, and plaster it all over the base. You want to get a nice good thick coating on it, especially with this stuff, because once it's dried, it then cracks up really nicely. Kind of the thicker it is, the better in that case, which is why we're using the not so great brush for it, because you don't want to be doing this with one of your sable hair brushes or a brush that you've then gone and kind of spent a lot of money on. So yeah, once that's all done, you then get to have a cup of coffee / tea and wait for it to dry. So once you've had your lovely cup of coffee or tea, it's now time to move on to the slate. So what we're going to do is we'll take a bit of super glue, dot a few different areas where you're looking to place your slate. Pre-select your slate beforehand, it just makes it easier. Have a look through what shapes you've got. Got a couple of nice little different shape bits here. As you can see, just make sure you don't get any glue on your fingers, because if so, you drop the bits. And then just place them on kind of in the location that you're looking for on the base. And then repeat this step as many times as you want, depending on whether you want a more kind of mountainous feel or whether you just want kind of outcrops of stone and, in this case, slate to kind of help with. Step 3 is the grass tufts. Now I'm using a 6mm tufts to start with. They got that slightly bit of texture to them. Now I normally only use one. As you can see, I had to put one back, but don't want to overdo the amount that you're using, so I try and use one of these and one of the 4mm. The important part is to make sure that you place it as nature would. So do some research, have a look at different outcrops of grass and things like that, and try and place them the same. So now using the 4mm, just kind of gives it that texture difference as well. So again, it's all trying to make it look as real as possible. And in this case, I've kind of try to tuck it underneath the slate like there's an outcrop of grass growing from underneath. The next bit is the snow. Now this is all down to preference. The idea is that you build it up slowly. What you don't want to do is just throw it all on top of the base, because it doesn't give that realistic look. It gives kind of an over the top look, which is not what we're going for. We want our bases to look as realistic as possible. So the idea is that you build it up slowly, and just keep adding to it. Now you can do it so that you've only got a small outcrop of snow, like that there's been a slight flurry, or even that it's after a melt and you've just got patches of snow left where the rest is all melted away. I, on the other hand, with this base, like to ensure that there's a good covering It's the kind of Arctic tundra feel, and kind of in those crevices like the snow's kind of been blown around in the Arctic tundra, or wherever your base is meant to be. So yeah, you just keep building it up, keep looking at different sides, and that's the big thing. Just keep looking at it and seeing. And this is all, again, what your preference is. Don't, if you want it really heavily snow, just keep going, just keep building up. If you don't, and you just want kind of little bits of snow, like it's melted snow, or that there's only been a flurry, you can stop at any point. But I like to give it a good covering, so I just keep adding bits and keep going back to it and keep kind of looking at it from different angles and seeing what I've got. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure that it gives it a good cover, and then there we go, the finished base. So yeah, hope that video was helpful. If it was, please feel free to press the subscribe button below. It means you can stay in touch with all the videos that we're putting out. If you've got any thoughts or comments, please put them below, and again, we'll try and answer them as quickly as possible. And if you've got any things that you'd like us to do videos on, put them in there. We'll see what we can do. Till next time, see ya.